mi gentes. Yes, I'm back with another little video, and I thought it would be fun. I love doing these little corny videos, these Q&A type questions. I wanted to do a more meaningful, thoughts-provoking questions, you know. I used to like post on my story and have like people comment questions and stuff a while ago, a couple years ago. I used to kind of do that, but I don't really like doing that anymore because one, a lot of people don't even ask a question, you know what I mean? Which is okay, you know, it's not forced by your will, whatever. But or people just like ask basic questions, or people are just honestly weird, you know, and too sexual, you know what I mean? Men. Not all, okay? We love a divine masculine, okay? But yeah, it's just I don't like doing that anymore. So, but I love Q&As though. I love them, okay, y'all? I'm just one of those corny ass bitches. No, but so I like to just I'm just on Google, found a little website with thought-provoking questions, okay? Just to honestly share some insight of my own thoughts. And also, y'all can, you know, think about how you would answer this question too, I guess. I don't know. For funsies, right? But yeah, let's get into it. So, first question first. What's the best question you've ever been asked? Honestly, I don't know what's the best question I've ever been asked, but the first question that comes to mind is one of my professors. And I've had him for quite a few classes. And how he structures his classes, he always has a prompt for us, a question for us. And this question stood out to me, where he had asked what's on our bucket list. And I didn't have a bucket list. I had ideas of things I wanted to do, but I actually never had a bucket list and written them down. I've created dream boards before when I was young as hell and stuff. And, you know, I write in my journal from time to time ideas, but I'm not like a bucket list of one-time things you don't get to do. I don't know, you know? And so that question honestly got me thinking. And after that class, and I definitely did answer, like I have things I want to do, so I said one thing I wanted to do. But after that question, it really got me thinking about like, wow, I should create a bucket list, you know? And I actually really enjoy this professor. Some people have their opinions on him, but I think he's a really great professor, truly. And I remember like in this class, one of the students, he said he doesn't have a bucket list or doesn't have any desires to do anything, and his teacher kind of challenged him like, wow, you have like no desire or want in this world, you know what I mean? And it's just crazy like how you get to know your classmates through these questions and all that stuff. But that's my best question, honestly. Create a bucket list, truly. It helps. It really does help. Let's see, what else? Where would you be if you hadn't followed your dreams? Y'all, probably dead. I probably would have murked myself. Nah, in all seriousness, I don't know. Actually, I probably would be sad, depressed, and settled, dead. You know what I mean? To be honest, I've always been a go-getter though. Like I'm telling you, one thing about me is when I was young, I've always knew I was like gonna do something for myself. You know what I mean? Like I've always been that type of person to strive and prosper, you know what I mean? And want better for myself. Always had that mindset built inside of me, you know? So definitely I would probably had murked myself or some shit. Not on no depressing shit. We following shit, okay, y'all? Don't worry, we okay. But if I hadn't followed my dreams and I settled for like past things, oh my goodness, like I would have been like a crackhead or some shit. I don't fucking know, bruh. Or in jail. Honestly, maybe in jail. I probably would have been a little thug. I don't Let me stop. No, but follow your dreams. Always strive and prosper, and do not settle for no little relationship that you know is not gonna work, or any toxic relations. You have to build slowly but surely. You will get there. The world will work with you, you know what I mean? So follow what you want to do and go after it, truly. What's the best decision you've ever made in life? Y'all, going to school, college I should say, was truly the best decision in my life, truly. I've made a lot of good and bad decisions, you know, but y'all, I used to be different. When I say I used to be different, my mindset used to be different. I've always had a strive and prosper type of mindset, but my mindset on school was different. Like, I used to think, and it's due to my own experiences in my childhood. You know, I used to think I like didn't need school. It was useless because of how I thought about the education system. I always knew the education system was fucked. We all know that, you know. Well, it's fucked, okay, if you don't know that. And so like, and I used to not think I was like intelligent, you know, in a book smart way, you know what I mean? Like, I knew I was creative. I wanted to do something with my life, you know, on a business mindset and all that, but I didn't think I needed school to do this, to do that, to make connections. Like, I didn't see the point of college. And it's because growing up, my family didn't like push that on to me at all, you know what I mean? Or like to go for your dreams and to like go to school and this and that, you know. Crazy enough, being a first generation and in an immigrant family, you know, struggling and shit, like, you don't my family just wasn't like that though, you know. There's two different sides of that kind of family structure where your parents are like, go, you know, pushing you. But my family did not give a fuck. They weren't on my ass about grades and this and that. But I was a good student. Don't get it twisted. I wasn't like some reckless motherfucker. You know what I mean? I was a good student. I just didn't care about school. I cared about like what I wanted to do with my life, but I didn't think school was gonna be in the picture. You know what I mean? And I've done a lot of side things. You know, I've done a lot of shit that a lot of people my age haven't done. From my experience with talking to people that are younger and older or the same age as me, you know, I've been out here. Like, I've been out here, you know. I've been in the field. I've been in the office. I've been in the plants, you know what I mean? And what I mean by plants, like manufacturing, I've done a lot of different stuff to gain XP. I've done side things, you know, creative endeavors, and all of that built me to go to school. One day it just clicked. I was going into a bad route, y'all. When I tell you, I was going into a bad route. once upon a time before school, you know, getting into stuff I shouldn't be getting into, aka bad money, where you can make good money, but it's bad money, you know what I mean? Um, and things just weren't working out. I was kind of too smart to like go down that route and knew it wasn't gonna work out in the end. So one day it just clicked. Let me go to school, and I love it. I love college. Like, I love it. It changed my life. I'm not even playing, y'all. The connections, the network, just the learning environment. I love learning. I've always have. But I didn't know the resources college actually provides for you, especially if you're a good student, you know what I mean? You're involved and all that stuff. Like, I just love it. And it's truly the best decision I've ever made in my life. You know, coming from a certain mindset on the education system to like loving it and actually benefiting from it. Truly. School is not for everybody. It's not. Building on my own wasn't for me because I wasn't around the right people, and those people, certain people I was around and stuff, they weren't aligned. Let's just say that, you know, wasn't aligned and all of that. So yeah, there's a little TED talk on that. What's your deepest regret and how can you forgive yourself or make amends? I actually don't have any regrets in life. Again, always had a strive and prosper mentality, always wanted the best for myself and others too on top of that. I don't regret anything because I never settled. I'm still young, you know. So I don't have any regrets. I go after my life, you know what I mean? I truly do. I don't chase, but like I go after what's best for me, you know, when it comes to career wise and all of that stuff. The people that are supposed to be in your life will align naturally, in my opinion, you know what I mean? If you could change one thing in the world, what would it be? Business, entrepreneurism, because all of business makes the world go round. You know what I mean? In this day and age, at least. And it's so fucked. It's corrupted, I should say. Let me keep it PG. It's corrupted. It's chaotic. And business is really the downfall of Earth when it comes to overconsumption, bad money going around, and also and business is such a broad term. Business is everything, truly. It's everything in this world got turned into a business. The food industries, fashion industry, housing, construction industries, engineering is all business, but every industry is corrupted in some way. People doing bad business. So I would definitely change, if I could, I would change the business atmosphere in everything if I could. Because business is our downfall. Money and the love for it, which is odd to me, is human beings' biggest downfall, because there's so many other things to cherish in this world, and everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, but it's oversaturated, it's watered down. There's a lot of people who think they're an entrepreneur, but really you're just a copy and paste of a business that's doing it. Or industries have too much power and they're destroying Earth, causing climate change, and putting, we could get deep into this, y'all. But in putting certain industries, buildings, on earth where it's not necessary. Instead, we need our land, we need earth in its natural form, and us humans to be able to tap into that natural form and build upon it with our hands, our minds. Pero it's business. People care about money. I hear it all the time from people. Oh, I need more money. Oh, I need this, I need that. But don't realize that there's more to human beings than slaving yourself to make somebody else higher and you feel drained. That's one thing I would change about this world. Business, okay? What's your biggest pet peeve? Oh my goodness. I have a lot, okay? Who doesn't, right? I would say one of them that comes to mind is people who are late in any type of setting. I'm not talking about like to a date, relationships, whatever, but in anything. I notice certain people, they're constantly late to events and stuff like that. I strongly dislike it. That is a pet peeve of mine. Is when people say a set time, but they're constantly pushing it back, or they don't show up on, like, I get it, 2 minutes, whatever, you know what I mean, but like 30 minutes, or it's a consistent thing. It's so unprofessional and immature to be late all the time, you know what I mean? That's a pet peeve of mine, especially in a relationship too. You say one thing and you're doing the next thing. Like, it could go for anything, Also, a pet peeve of mine is people who aren't open-minded to change, and they just think their way is the best way. People just aren't open-minded to stuff, to ideas. And people who are just too controlling, that's annoying, But there's so much more, but we're not gonna get into all of that. What's a red flag about you? I would say, I feel like some people may think I'm too friendly, but I'm really just kind. I'm a kind ass person. I treat people how they treat me, but in a kind way. You know what I mean? Even if people are annoying and just want drama, trying to hate on you, like, I'm still gonna be kind, but I'm gonna tell you how it is, type of thing. But apart from that, some people may think I'm too friendly, that like I can't control how other people feel about me. I can't control what other people say or think about me. You know what I mean? That's something I can't take control of, but I'm always be kind to people. I'm an outgoing person. I understand I am outgoing, and I love having conversations with people. It's usually people initiating the conversations with me a lot of the times, especially if they're newer or this and that, you know what I mean? Of course, again, I'm kind. I'm gonna ask how somebody is or this and that, but I'm definitely not friendly. I'm just kind. But I know some people will think that I'm too friendly or something like that, just because I am a kind, down ass earth type of person. You know what I mean? And I treat everybody the same that's new. I'm always gonna have an open mind, open arms to new people, and new ideas and stuff like that. But of course, I'm not friendly. Best believe that. I don't just let anybody in my circle, in my space, in my thoughts, or have conversations about certain things with everybody or telling my life story to everybody. I'm just a kind ass person, and some people take that the wrong way. What's a green flag about you? I have a lot. Let me stop. I'm definitely, I would say, green flag. I'm ambitious and I'm very positive as well. I'm a realistic person. Like, I'm not delusional. You know what I mean? Like, I'm realistic in my ambitions. Sorry, is that weird? In my ambitions. Salumientes. Like, I'm not an unrealistic person. I'm logical, but also free flowing. And the type of person, whatever happens, happens. If the plan gets mixed up a little bit, like, it's okay. We're free flowing. We will make it work with that positive mindset, but yet still ambitious. You know what I mean? That's another pet peeve too. I hate a negative mindset. People who always complain. Hold up. Back up to the other question. I hate complainers. They're people who just like, I get it. We all complain here and there. Okay, I get it. You know what I mean? It's okay. But people, that's all you hear out of people's mouth. Oh, it's hot outside. Oh, why is it like this outside? Why is it like that? Oh, I got work. Oh, I gotta cook. Oh, I'm you know what I mean? Somebody always complaining about something. Oh, my dating life. Oh, she did this. Oh, he did that. Oh, and it's just like, you have control of who's around you and who's not. You have control of your own life. That's a pet peeve of mine. People who just complain about the stupidest shit. Like, literally the stupidest shit. And I'm just like, why can't you just be thankful? Why can't you just say, wow, it's a beautiful day today? Like, even if it's 95 degrees with 1,000% humidity, it's a beautiful day to be alive. You know what I mean? And I just don't like people who always who don't see the good in things. You know, the good in life. Appreciating what they have and what they're capable of. You have to understand, there's people out here living lives that have been taken from them physically, mentally, emotionally, and you have the audacity to complain about being free, being able to breathe the fresh air, where there's people in human trafficking or in whoop-de-woo land not able to feel that. And a lot of people are just so selfish that they don't realize the freedom they truly have on earth and to be thankful for their life. But instead, you would rather live in insecurity and self-doubt and negativeness and surround yourself by people who just talk about drama and bullshit that don't matter about this world. I'm sorry, that just came out of nowhere. Whatever. What color are you and why? Honestly, deep down, it's not my favorite color, but I feel purple because purple is royalty. Okay, and I be feeling like purple, even though I don't wear a lot of purple, but I feel like my aura gives a lot of colors. But I've been feeling purple lately, and a little bit of blue and green. Okay. What helps you breathe easy? Meditating. And I'm not talking about like you could be like that, but there's so many different meditation practices, you know what I mean? Some people just think sitting in silent and living the monk life, you know what I mean? That is a form of meditation, and that works for a lot of people. But doing yoga, Pilates that help with breathing practices, just simply breathing in and out and just releasing all of that. What helps you breathe easily is truly like breathing, controlling your breath, exercising, stepping outside, and just, you know what I mean? That relieves so much, I feel like. And that's what makes me breathe easily. I don't know what kind of question that is, but that's how I took it. What do you have faith in right now? Myself and mi Dio, the gods, the goddesses, the angels, my ancestors, truly. But it's all in me, you know? I have faith in myself to the max, and other people too. I love having faith in other people as well, you know? Yeah, that are like-minded like me, you know? But most definitely having faith in yourself and the earth around you and what you make of it. Do you believe in second chances? I would say I guess it depends, but most likely not really. You know what I mean? I understand people can change. We love change, okay? But it's like when it comes to like in a relationship wise, like you cheated down bad. You like did some effed up shit, you know? Not even just cheating, but you just are just chaotic and stuff like that. No. We're not doing the second chances and stuff like that, especially if you like that, like the cheating life, multiple parties, or just being disloyal, you know? No. Never got back with old people. Never have, never will. One and done. You know, I'm a type of person, like, I love, like, what's next, you know, in life. I've went through that. I experienced that. Why would I want to go through that again? That lesson I literally already learned. Why would I want to look back? That's why I don't get people who like give their exes and whatever, family members, whatever, second chances, friendships as well, second chances. Like, I don't get that. When it's like you're clearly not learning the lesson, and this is why mindset wise and environmental wise you stay stagnant and nothing seems to work out. But people thrive off of drama. Some people are demons, you know what I mean? I can't control that. But I can control what's around me. But it depends, like, it depends with the second chances, but I'm really not a second chance type of person, you know what I mean? But depending on the circumstances and what was done, what was said, it can be iffy. But for the most part, I'm not going back to something I already experienced that was in a negative light, in a negative way, not in a positive light, you know what I mean? So yeah, are you honest? Yes, I can be. What do you trust most in life? Myself, truly. I trust in me, myself, and my three friends, okay? And claro que sí, mi Dio, and earth. That's what I trust in most, and that's what I found works, you know? So yeah. What's the most important characteristic you look for in a partner? honesty, truly. Somebody who is emotionally intelligent, and somebody that doesn't rely on other people's opinions or always seeks third party opinions. That's a really big turnoff for me, especially me as a feminine. I'm a very feminine person, divine, okay? And a divine masculine, a real masculine, knows what they want and they go after it. They don't second guess, they don't contemplate, they feel it and they know it. And they don't need to seek outside opinions. Oh, is this right? Should I do this? Should I do that? They don't bitch, they don't complain, they stand for it. And I find that very attractive when a man, no, because that's what I like men, okay, y'all. When a man is masculine in an emotional sense, but also have a good balance with feminine, that's very important. But I like a masculine that knows what they want. Like, you see me, you want me, and you take the proper actions to approach me, not in no childish way, DMs. No, like, you actually, like, yeah, people. I like a man who knows what they want and doesn't seek other people's opinions or judgment. Like, you can't trust your own self. That's questionable to me. When you as a person, for anybody honestly, but mostly for a partner, relating to the question, when you can't trust your own instincts, that's questionable, on your character for me. When you can't trust your own self and what you desire, it's a big turn off when people don't know what they really want, or they have to contemplate with their friends and family to make a decision for them. What's most important to you right now? Definitely my career. And yeah, definitely my career. Like, I'm not like, oh my gosh, my career is but like, that's what's important to me right now, for sure, is building myself up for the future fam. I don't know what the future holds, okay? New friends or foes, you know what I'm saying? RP DJ Screw. But I don't know like what the future holds, but I do know that my career and my future depends on me. So that is what's most important to me, is building stability for myself. I'm not a reliant type of person, never have and never will. I love to build, but I'm not going to sit here and be a little baby and act like I'm 12 and I need somebody to take care of me. You know what I mean? That's just not my type of personality. I'm sorry. But I do love getting taken care of. But I also like taking care of shit too. That's important. Who's the one that got away? Me. Me? I got away, bitch. Nobody when it comes to me. And that's just me being honest. I'm not out here trying to toot my own horn, but the people I let go deserve to get let go. And yeah, that's just the honest truth, because it's the people that want to come back. They always come back. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, I don't think that's how it works. I let you go for a reason. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of success? Salud. But living in your purpose looks different for everyone. Success looks different from me to you to him to her to it, they, them, all of them. You know what I mean? Success is different for everyone. And when it comes to the social media age, where everybody is trying to sell you a stupid ass dream of making money, join my business, join my cult, join my bop house, whatever, it's ridiculous. And people are trying to live in the same purpose as other people instead of finding their own and finding actual like-minded human beings, you know? But the first thing that comes to mind when I think of success is being in my personal purpose and what I feel content with in life, you know? And that's just how it is. That's how I'm gonna answer the question, because what I think of success may be something you think differently of. You know, some people want to be super like into this new age shit, or some people just simply want their own land tucked away. Some people are content in the place that they work at currently, and that is all okay. It truly is. This social media has made us think it's not okay to be at this job, it's not okay to be this, it's not okay to be that, we have to be like this, we have to be like that, this is what's new, this is what's in, this is what the algorithm is telling us to get rich and live fast. But are you happy? Are you fulfilled in life? That's what matters. You know what I mean? That what you are making of yourself is what truly matters. Some people don't want a family. Some people don't want marriage. Some people want 3 wives, 5, shit, whatever. You know, some people just want one. Okay? Some people live how you want to live, but make sure it's your fucking purpose. Okay? And you doing something for Earth. You know what I mean? So yeah. How have you shown up for yourself lately? I will say, y'all, I've low-key been in a little funk. One, because I was on my menstrual. Okay, y'all. Y'all, it's true. Like, it really can affect your emotions, being a woman on your menstrual. Okay. But honestly though, it wasn't just that, like, you know what I mean? But I definitely took some part of it when I was just in a little funk. Like, I just didn't really want to do anything, you know what I mean? Last week I just didn't want to, and I had gotten back from traveling for a whole month, and so I think all of it was kind of just coming down. And not in a bad way. Like, I wasn't here, like, it wasn't like depression or anything. No, I don't, you know what I mean? But it was just like a little funk. We all get in those little emotions, you know, where you just kind of get in your head, self-doubt. You don't feel anything. Like, I guess you could say I wasn't feeling any emotions. I guess. Some people, it varies. Some people are more emotional. Me, I just was feeling emotionless. Like, what is the point of everything, you know? But I still showed up, and I went out in nature. I really didn't feel like working out as hard, because especially being on your menstrual, I don't know why I say it like that, but I love saying it like that. Like, I personally don't want to work out super hard. I really can't, you know, it's uncomfortable. But I went out to the park, I went out in nature, and I would cook for myself, the per usual, but in a lighter sense, in more easygoing sense, not doing too much, you know what I mean? And that's how I showed up for myself, especially on those emotionless days where I'm just like, feel nothing at all, you know what I mean? So yeah. But yeah, that's how I showed up, being in nature. Nature always makes me feel something, always. So that's how I show up for myself. And of course, taking care of my body, dressing well, taking a shower. It's my favorite thing. Taking a shower, feeling refreshed, washing that emotionless energy off, and putting on a cute little fit that makes me feel good, and going for a little walk and cooking me a good meal. Truly taking care of yourself, you know? So yeah. What's your superpower? I can read people. But I wish I could fly, whatever. In my dreams I can, but let me stop. Being a human being is my superpower, okay? Angelic. Goodness, y'all, this video is actually long as fuck. Shit, I'm sorry, y'all. I hope y'all not bored. But I'm gonna answer one more question. Okay, which one? What's the most sacred thing about you? My temple, my body is definitely most sacred. I'm not gonna say I'm out here perfect and I've taken care of my body the best since day one. No, I've made mistakes when it came to my body and taking care of it, you know what I mean? In different ways, you know, when it came to like my eating habits, certain people that were in my energy, relationships, you know what I mean? But I've definitely grown. And y'all, I'm not super old, and I'm not fucking 15 years old or 20 at that. You know what I mean? I'm in the mid range, okay? But I learned from my past when it came to habits and things I was around and all of that, and I've truly learned to take care of my temple, truly. And that goes for anyone and everyone. When you take care of your temple, that is truly the most sacred thing about us. I get it, we all go through experiences where we feel it gets taken away, or it's been used wrongfully, or you just haven't taken care, or your own self, you haven't taken care of it due to you know what I mean? And you know, it happens to everybody. It truly does happen to everyone. But having a starting point of realization of, I need to take care of my temple to the best of my ability, because that's where real growth in the physical, in the spiritual really happens, is when you take pride in this. A lot of people take pride in their egos and actually just try to build up their ego, but that's totally separate from your actual temple. There's so much in your temple when it comes to your spirit, your soul, your mind, your physical body, and a little bit of your ego, you know what I mean? We all have one, but some people just are moving with ego, and that's unattractive. But anyways, taking care of your temple, eating, I can't stress this enough, eating good natural food. That's something I struggled with the most in my life. I really don't like human beings at that, truly. So that really wasn't an issue for me. But And that's not saying anything, you know what I mean? We all got our own fucking issues, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. We're not perfect out here, you know, truly. But I'm just saying that was more easier to control for me. um, but like food, you know, and certain habits I had, you know, eating unhealthy and just those struggling habits, and also, you know, letting people around me that should not have been around me, that really disrupted my body to where I had to heal my body, cleanse it. You know, we have to do that, break soul ties, and all that's a real thing, y'all. Even if you believe it or not, you got it, you know what I mean? And that's something we all have to face in breaking certain things within our temple that we've allowed for years and all that stuff. But I can't stress it enough. Food. You start eating real, genuine, authentic food, you're gonna grow a lot, truly. And we all have different addictions and stuff, but a lot of us, we feed ourselves. So that's for all of us. We have to feed ourselves somehow, some way. And a lot of y'all are not eating the proper nutrients, and that's why you lack certain things within that is spiritual, not just physical, but spiritual, you know, and that deals with what you consume. Now, other people have other addictions, whether it's substance, drinking, you know what I mean? Or like sex addiction, you know? That's a big issue. Letting demons, letting people, letting diseases inside you, around you, you know, it's a very serious thing. So the most sacred thing of any human being walking on this earth is your temple, truly. And learning how to take care of your personal temple, it looks different for everybody because we all come from different cultures, different ways of living, different families, different traditions, and all of that. So you really have to see what you like. But we all have a common ground of we are human beings, we are spiritual beings. We need to feed ourselves the proper nutrients. It's around us in all different cultures. We all have our methods, you know, there's no excuse, you know. So yeah, definitely taking care of your temple and cleansing. Yeah, that's the most sacred thing I would say about me is my temple, for sure though. And that goes for everything. Your mind, your thoughts is in your temple. Everything is built within. That's why it's so sacred. And it can't just be for anyone and everyone. It just can't, you know. For me, at least, you know. But we all have different lives. But it's important to take care of your life, though. But that's all the thought-provoking questions I'm going to be answering. I hope you enjoyed this long-ass video. I know, and I don't give a fuck, okay? Keep taking care of yourself every motherfucking day. Truly, it takes building, it takes trial and error. I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to say that, but it does. You can't just give up, you know what I mean? It takes time. It's all within divine timing if you allow it and you believe it, you know? So yeah, don't be too hard on yourself, but also get the fuck up, you know? Step up. That's what life is about, right? But yeah, toodles.